What up, Chicago? We're here to recap that awesome Bears win in London yesterday over the Jaguars. We got Darius and his Mr. Wilson camera angle here
Yes,
today.
indeed. Nah, this not the angle. I don't know what happened. I was good
No,
at first. I think it's the restream thing, but I was good at first. I don't know what happened, but
for
I
sure.
guess I guess the people get to see my face for real.
So we got that with Darius. We had Brandon in here a couple times, but he keeps popping out. That's our usual Monday crew: me, Dustin Jones, Darius Lockhart, and Brandon Duplessis. But we're just gonna recap this game for you guys real quick. Please give us comments throughout that we can talk about. Kind of move the show along. Keep those comments coming and hit that like and subscribe, everybody. Darius, how are you tonight?
Oh, everything's good, man. I'm in a good space, man. It's a good night, man.
Yeah, feeling good after a really impressive Bears win, I imagine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't care who the opponent was. We got to win. That's all that mattered.
Okay, so let's not focus on the opponent. Let's focus on the Bears. What were you most impressed by in that game yesterday from the Chicago Bears?
Honestly, we know the offense and Caleb played a heck of a game, but I'm gonna give my game ball to the defense because
Brandon's here.
the next man up cliche, they turned it up to another level. Those guys, those unsung guys on the defense that came in and placed of the starters played a heck of a game.
Yeah, Elijah Hicks had a very good game.
Jalen
Blackwell got an
Jones, Elijah
interception.
Hicks, Josh Blackwell, Daniel Hardy on special teams,
I
Chris
love Daniel
Williams,
Hardy, man.
yeah, Williams and Coward. They had a sack. Um,
What's up, Cheryl?
number 45. I can't pronounce his name, so I respect him. I'm not gonna tear his name up on this podcast, but number 45, Amen.
Come on, give it a shot,
Amen.
Darius. Darius, let's do it.
Maji.
Ogbon, Ogbon B.
We'll just call him
Ogbon.
Amen.
Yeah, man. He had a sack as well. They took like I said, they took the phrase "next man up" to another level, man, and shout out to them. That's who I'll get a game ball to.
Brandon, what was most impressive to you? Agbong Bamiga, Sports and Smoke says. Agbong Bamiga.
My man, I practice. I'll be better next time.
Can you tell me how to get?
Jesus, Darius, no respect.
All right, Brandon, what was most impressive to you about that game yesterday from the Bears' perspective?
Oh, I got to continue to say Shane Waldron's adaptability, his willingness to not be stubborn. Between Matt Nagy and Luke Getsy, we watched offensive coordinators that were going to try to show off who they were, no matter who was on their football team, and that just doesn't work, guys. We've watched that for years here in Chicago, and Shane Waldron did it again. Keenan Allen got the ball in the end zone, in the red zone.
Nice.
You got the ball. You got the ball in short down situations, like third and short and fourth down. This is where Keenan Allen's carved teams up his entire career. So once again, Shane Waldron and those two reads. I personally believe those two reads in the end zone to Keenan were his first read. I believe that's where the ball was supposed to go on both of those plays. That's definitely the corner
Yeah,
fade.
yeah.
100% where that ball is supposed to go. So I think Shane Waldron thought, I did this with Cole Kmet. I did this with DeAndre Swift. I did this with DJ Moore. Now I'm hearing it about this guy. I feel like Shane Waldron was like, I got to do something to get Keenan Allen involved. I think he drew it up the way it played out.
Well, in that vein, man, I mean, it's great that any given week somebody else on this offense can step up. I personally think Swift is, I've said it, Swift is the key to this offense. It's going to be dependent upon them getting him involved because of his big playability and because you're establishing a run game and a short passing game that brings the defense up towards you so you can beat them over the top. He's the key to this offense, and he had a great game too. But this week it's Keenan Allen and Cole Kmet catching 2 touchdowns. Last week is DJ Moore catching 2 touchdowns. The amount of weapons that Roma Dunze had that big game against the Colts the week before, a couple weeks before. I mean, so like the amount of offensive players that can step up for this team is kind of scary if you're a defense going up against them. And Darius, I gotta agree with you too.
But hold on, just even that. with the amount of weapons you have, it's still important. The same as you would a 5-man basketball team. Dustin, we watch the Bulls religiously. You still have to know each player's role and what they're going to do best for your football team. And Shane Waldron is doing that. That's what's
Yeah, well,
impressive.
that's kind of the point I'm making, Brandon, because like depending on the defense you're playing, the team you're playing, it's going to be a different person. Like we
Yeah,
knew Rome was
whoever
going to have good
exploits
games
that
against
team the
those
most.
outside
Yeah.
against those outside corners for the Colts. We said that, going into that game. So I mean, like he's really good at identifying where he can exploit a defense, and he's got awesome weapons at every level to exploit that defense. And then with Darius, what he's saying, the backup stepping in and playing as well as they did was very impressive. It's
That's a
concerning.
testament to Eberflus, man.
It is. He's got his guys ready to play.
100%.
And what's concerning is hopefully these starters are back, because as soon as Gordon went out, the Jags started moving the ball at will.
Even Eberflus called that game. I don't know if you on defense, he called that game a little more conservatively than he did the Panthers game, because I think he was aware. Because even with Hicks being in there for Brisker, he played both those safeties back pretty deep for majority of the first half, because he was. Guys, Eberflus is impressing me. And like I said, we can separate the DC from the head coach, but this guy, and Justin, we talked about the culture an hour ago on our show. This guy is really doing it all. He's doing it.
Brujah's game ball goes to the backups for sure, he says, and then he's including Komet as a backup, our backup long snapper.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, like these guys are kind of echoing what we're talking about. The thing that was most impressive to me, guys, was 2 penalties in this game for the Bears. These penalties were really killing this team. They were, especially the offensive pre-snap penalties, and they just didn't do it in this game.
And you watch the Jaguars, and you're like, God, that's what we used to do.
Yeah. Like the Jaguars gave the Bears a touchdown when they should have had them off the field.
Whole drive.
Yeah. And then you watch that.
It was holding. I mean, those calls were.
Yeah, no, they were all
legitimate. Those calls were legit.
No, they were legitimate calls. They were.
Remember, guys, I said, I'm sorry, Dustin.
No, it's cool. I'm just more just trying to transition to, like, you see the things that the Bears need to get better at, and so often in Chicago we've seen these things and pointed them out, and the coaches don't seem to be aware of them.
Yeah,
what's impressive?
All year.
Yeah. And so what's impressive to me is that these coaches are seeing what they need to get better at, and they're adjusting. You go from nine penalties two games ago to 5 last game to 2 in this most recent game. So you're dropping it down. You're really allowing over 120 rushing yards a game. The Jaguars only had 68 rushing yards in that game. The Bears are focusing on what they need to get better at, and they're improving week by week. So I'm really impressed with this coaching staff, Darius. Where are you at with that?
Absolutely. The key was to not allow Jacksonville to create a style for this game where they can have an advantage. And we set the tone quick. We wasn't going to allow nobody to run nowhere. If Trevor Lawrence was going to get off, he was going to get off passing the ball. It was not going to be, that offense was not going to be allowed to get a rhythm starting with the run. You know what I'm saying? And you got to, like you said, you got to get Eberflus his props for that, because the focus was on the detail. He made the main thing the main thing. Everybody knew what the word was. Everybody thought they knew what the word was when it came down to our defense and how to attack us. And, we wasn't having it. We wasn't allowing them to set the tone.
Made the word what the word was. I like that.
Yeah, Darius, I
like that. Eberflus is setting the tone for sure.
Darius, this is why I enjoy working with you. That's a really good point. I want to piggyback off that and say that the one thing Eberflus has done well all year is imbalance. He has created imbalance for every offense he's played. He has made sure, even the games the Bears have lost, that a team becomes one-dimensional. Yeah. The Colts beat them running the football because they were not passing the ball on the Bears at all. They had, I think he had one big pass to Pierce Richardson, but he was terrible almost the entire game against the Bears. Mm-hmm. Eberflus has done a good job of taking one or the other away from any team that he's played so far. Yep. And as soon as you can do that, man, whether it be the run or the pass that you eliminate from somebody's arsenal, like you said, Darius, one-dimensional. Once a team is that, yep, you have the playmakers on this defense to exploit them. Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And
Go ahead, Darius.
That was what was kind of happening to us at the beginning of the year. In that Texans game,
one
as well as
dimensional.
that Colts game. They didn't allow us to create a style or develop a rhythm,
especially in the run game.
We didn't have an identity against that team.
Yeah. So I mean, and Eberflus is a huge part of that, and it seems like him and his entire coaching staff are on the same page. And the thing that I thought that the Jaguars posed the biggest threat with going into that game offensively to the Bears was the big play. And there just weren't any in this game for the Jaguars to get. Like, the Bears decided wholeheartedly, you're not going to beat us downfield. You're going to have to matriculate the ball downfield on us. Mm-hmm. And Trevor Lawrence is completing under 60% of his passes on the season. So that was a very smart move by the Bears to make them earn it play by play.
Dustin, you said it on the 4-star Chicago.
Holy shit, the Jets just threw a Hail Mary for a touchdown at the end of the half, it looks like.
Nobody does like Aaron, right?
Yeah, right. Aaron Rodgers just catching it up.
Wow. Face. Dustin, you said it on the show, on the 4-star Chicago Sports show. Goddamn, what were we just talking about?
I'm sorry. We were talking about the big play, eliminating the big play, making them move the ball down the field, intentionally.
Yeah, you threw me off with that score, man.
Well, it threw me off, man. I'm watching Alan Lazard pulling a Hail Mary touchdown over 4 guys, bro. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, we were talking about the Bears having a game plan to shut down the big play for the Jaguars going into this game.
Oh, you said on the show they kind of allowed Evan Ingram to go off because that's the guy who's not going to beat you downfield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, that's Matt Eberflus, once he lost Kyler Gordon, especially, he became so keen on this game that he was like, somebody's going to get the ball, right? I mean, like,
that's like what Bill Belichick does, right? Bill Belichick is like, I'm not going to let their best player beat me, but you can let this guy get off because that's not what's going to beat me.
Because Ingram went off, and it didn't really impact the game, right? I mean, like, it really didn't. Like, he snapped. He had like 10 catches for 102 yards, and it didn't impact the Jaguars' offense all that much. Like,
because you're
right. They're built on scoring downfield for sure. And man, a couple weeks ago, I don't know, Eberflus has really impressed me, man. When I was watching that game against the Jaguars, I was thinking to myself, this guy's impressive. I texted you guys during that game. Eberflus is kind of being the guy. Remember that? He really is, man. For me to start, anything Ryan Poles does moving forward, I'm just gonna shut my fucking mouth because, you know what I mean? Like, the guy, he brought Eberflus back, and I had so much shit to talk about that decision when Eberflus came back as a head coach,
especially with all the options that were out there. We were all saying it, man. Like, there was some really good options out there at the head coaching position.
And right now,
this
is working so well. Like,
the biggest key to this Bears team is that defense. It is that defense. That defense is what's going to carry them through this season.
Yeah, because
keeps them in a game. And Eberflus is he's the orchestrator.
Right. In the divisional games, that's what's going to be most important. Is the Bears defense. Because guys like Sam Darnold, and even honestly, even a guy like Jordan Love, like you said earlier today, Dustin, these guys will make mistakes. They will make mistakes. That's what they've made almost a career. Like, Sam Darnold's made a career out of throwing the ball to the other team, honestly, before he was in this Minnesota offense.
Yeah. Ruha says Byard is such an upgrade. I know, Brandon, this is something we're gonna let Darius talk about this first, but I know this is something that you've been very passionate about today when I've been talking to you.
Darius has preached a lot of Byard too.
Byard is such an upgrade. Teams don't attack him if they don't need to. They know he's a ball hawk. Yeah. Darius, what did you see in that game in terms of Kevin Byard making a difference on this defense, especially in the secondary that was weakened by injury?
Yeah.
2 things. Instinct and leadership. Instinct and leadership. We no one was really excited about Elijah Hicks being a starter this week because Brisker was out. But you can tell that Byard, you know what I'm saying, he kind of coached Hicks up and have him prepared and ready to play, and that's the part of leadership, man. Like, when you're an elder statesman like he is, Like those are the things that money can't buy. You know what I mean?
You don't move like an elder statesman either.
No,
He's
not
still
at all.
moving like a young guy out there.
Yeah, but we got a young team, so he's looked at as that.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, just like I said, and with his instincts, you know what I'm saying, and the way he sees the game, sometimes you can make up for your lack of certain type of ability with your instincts, and he does a great job at that as well. But his leadership, man, is paramount, and you can tell it from the way Hicks played this weekend and the way Brisker's been playing this year before he was injured. You can
Guys,
tell
I want to shout out
impact.
Cheryl real quick. I want to shout out Cheryl Childers, Sports and Smokes, Brew Hall, AC Adam, Chicago Sports Podcast in the building. What up, Tracks? And Patty Lara and Debbie Tuttle. She agrees the defense is what's going to carry this team, and Kevin Byard is a big part of that. Brandon, did you expect Kevin Byard to have that big of an impact on this game going into it?
I wasn't sure, Dustin. I won't say that I didn't. I'll say this. This is another. It felt like a bargain signing. It wasn't. He got paid, handsomely. It wasn't a bargain signing, but it's just another hit for Ryan Poles because I agree with Darius. This is a leader for sure. I mean, they made him you guys. Dustin, you remember on the 4-Star show we asked like, what's the biggest surprise when it comes to naming the captains? I think most people said Mercedes Lewis. Mine was Kevin Byard because this is a really, really good secondary. And you could have named Brisker, who's already been here, or Kyler Gordon, who's already been here. They almost feel like kids, though, like those two. But
yeah, that's what Darius is saying. Yeah,
you could have named one of those guys a captain, and you named Byard, who was new to the team, a captain before the season started.
And he's fit in with this team seamlessly.
And I can't prove this on paper. I can't. But I believe that he's not only mentoring young players like Elijah Hicks, I think he actually covered more ground in this game against Jacksonville to help Elijah Hicks.
Yeah.
Byard was such an impact on this game that he hasn't been before because I don't think he needed to be. Dustin, I said this on the bare minimum. He's probably going to do more than required of him to help a young player out. Like, remember I said Elijah Hicks it's going to be the continuity thing is big for us, guys. I said it's going to be not only different playing next to a different player. It's not only going to make a different effect playing next to a different player, but a less talented player. And I think Byard actually made up for the things because I'm sorry, I don't think Hicks is great. I don't. I think Byard made Hicks.
He performed admirably in the role that he needed to play.
He knocked the ball. He knocked the ball away from Gabe Davis, which he already dropped. But
the most important.
I think that Byard played more. I think he did more than he normally does because of the players around him.
Yeah, and I think I know where you're going, Kyle. I think what you're saying is
I'll let it fly, Darius, this time.
No, I'm sorry. No.
He does a Wednesday show with Kyle. He does a Monday show with Brandon.
I'm sorry.
Y'all look very similar.
Hey, I apologize. I'm sorry, sir.
It's all white people.
No, I'm giving you shit, bro. Go ahead.
But Byard allowed Hicks to play to his strengths. I think that's where you were going, and I 1,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Byard was able to control the middle of the field, so Hicks could come up more in the box and not have to be exposed in coverage so much. To be honest, and that really worked out well for this Bears team. Yeah. Another thing that really worked out well for this Bears team was their score.
Well, hold on, Dustin. Hold on. I know you're.
We got fucking 30 minutes, bro.
I know you're doing a great job.
You gotta keep it moving. You're
doing a great job. I want to hear your. I have not yet heard this, man. We talk football every day. How do you feel about Kevin Byard for real? Like in a secondary,
I feel like he's a huge addition to this team,
right? Like not just a product of a good secondary, but like he's become his own entity, right? In this wrecking ball that is this Bears secondary. Like he's not a guy who's going to pick on.
He's definitely something they needed because they didn't really have a guy like him. Brisker is suspect in coverage. He has been throughout his career. He's getting better. This year he's getting better, but that could be because Kevin Byard covers so much ground, guys. Kevin Byard is a guy that this Bears secondary needed badly. There's another guy, like you said, Poles hit on him. He identified what this defense needed, and he went and got him early on.
It was the second signing after Swift.
Early on in free agency to make sure that this defense had a piece that it did not have last year, which is a guy that
Eddie
can
Jackson
roam the
was
field. Yeah, that can
Yeah,
roam the
just-
middle of the field. And Byard holds up against the run. And he's a veteran who has, like Darius said, great leadership skills. So
Yeah.
I love the signing from the beginning. I mean, I was a little wary of his performance on that Eagles team, but that whole Eagles team, we had talked about it going into the season. It just took a shit, you know.
Yeah, they were
that-
just trading defensive coordinators.
yeah. So I mean, like Byard's obviously still got it, man. Byard's obviously still got it. And another guy who's got it, guys, is Caleb Williams. We threw 4 touchdowns in this game. This is the biggest story from this game. I'm sorry. It just is. We have our quarterback of the present and the future, guys. And it can make us forget about all these quarterbacks from the past.
I messaged Darius during this game. Did I not?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he did.
I said we have a fucking franchise quarterback.
Yes, indeed.
Dude, some of the 2 passes to Keenan Allen were just ridiculous. Perfect ball placement, anticipation, timing.
Man.
Keenan Allen wasn't even looking for the ball when the ball was thrown. It was just like, it's gonna be where you need it to be when you turn around. That's basically what those throws were. I mean, it was Caleb called it a layup himself. The pass to Cole Kmet over the middle. That Jags defense was just so thrown for a loop by that great play designed by Shane Waldron to get that
play.
Yeah, man.
And Caleb motioned Keenan inside on that play. On that play where the defenders closed in on he turned around before the pass was thrown. He wasn't turning around
to get him matched up with a linebacker. It was an extreme mismatch.
He put Keenan in a really good position to make that play, man.
Real quick, guys, before we move on, I just want to let everybody know that we appreciate them being here. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Cliff Victoria just joined us. John is in here with us. Just gave us a great stat. Defense has 18 sacks and 13 takeaways on the season. They cause havoc, guys. And then Cliff Victoria mentioning that Aiden Hutchinson going down for Detroit is a huge deal for that team.
So he makes John Allen.
For the Washington Commanders. Now the Lions, we got to play twice, and we ain't gonna see Hutchinson any of those times.
The Bears can't handle interior defensive linemen.
Nobody can handle Aiden Hutchinson. Caleb Williams is a guy who would have been greatly impacted.
Not many people can handle John Allen, man.
Yeah, I'm just talking about what our chat is talking about, bro. I'm not discrediting John Allen. That's going to be a big deal in that game when we talk about the Commanders.
No, Dustin, you said it earlier. The Bears are just getting an outrageous string of fortune on injuries.
Yeah, and you feel bad for these guys. Hutchinson's a hell of a player. Now the Bears have injuries of their own that they need to get right. This bye is coming at the perfect time. I just really want to know, guys, do you see this continuing to be the norm for Caleb Williams, or do you still see rookie mistakes that are going to be coming out? I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most about Caleb Williams, guys, is that after a game like he had yesterday, he's not talking about all the touchdowns he threw. He's talking about the interception he threw and how he needs to be better. That gives me supreme confidence in our rookie quarterback, guys. He's different. He's different in this way. So do you see him continuing to get better? I mean, better than yesterday is going to be hard to do, but do you see this continuing for Caleb in this offense, the high scoring, or do you think that that's a product of just playing really some of the worst defenses in football history in terms of defending the pass, guys? Darius, where do you see this going for Caleb? This chat is growing up, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the chat as always, but I think each game is going to present different challenges. But more than anything else, as long as Waldron and Williams continue to work together to, as far as the play caller and the Williams being the guy that's executing these plays out here, I think, because mistakes are going to happen. But, I'm just going to play the percentages. If we can get 75-25, you know what I mean? As far as great plays, 75, and, we may have the mistakes or bad plays at 25%. Long as we're doing, long as we're getting, so we're taking advantage of the things that each defense presents to us, I think we'll be fine. We're on a good pace, and mistakes are gonna happen. Rookie,
man.
We watched Aaron and all the great quarterbacks, they all make mistakes. You know what I mean? but it's not going to be as consistent as it has been in the past.
Brandon, where are you at with this? Do you see Caleb continuing to build on this performance that he had yesterday and carry that into his next game?
I think it's going to continue to happen because of, listen, I would do dirty things for the person that made the Bears schedule this year. I think
How dirty? How dirty? Let's get details.
You don't want to, we can't, this is a family show. No. I think because of the way the schedules worked in Caleb's favor, I think he'll continue to do what he's doing because of the way the schedule is laid out. So I think that he's going to continue to beat up these next three teams, the Commanders, the Cardinals, the Patriots, right? And I think because of the development he's been able to make while winning games, when it comes to the division, it's going to keep going. That's what I think. I think he's going to keep doing it because he's done it enough to feel confident doing it again. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think the two will go hand. I think the two will go hand in hand. Yeah. I think confidence in a rookie quarterback in the NFL is we use the word confidence so much, and it's so much more important than people think it is. It really is, because it's not just over a course of a season. It's not just like the first couple of games you want to make them cut. It's like every game that Caleb plays, you want the first few throws to be something he completes, something short, something easy, like, right? Every game you want to make this kid more confident in what he's doing. I believe with the way the schedule is laid out in the next three games, he'll be confident enough to think that he's better than anything the Packers, Lions, and Vikings have to offer.
And since you're mentioning that, Cliff Victoria says this: NFC North is rightfully being called the best division in football. He says rightfully because the top four teams in point differential in the NFL all reside in the NFC North. The NFC North is awesome right now, guys. I believe it's 17-5 is their record right now total, which kind of obliterates everyone else, every other division in football. This is going to be a very tough division to win. So Cliff Victoria pointing out things like Aiden Hutchinson going down is a big deal. And then we got who was this here? John pointing out that Green Bay plays Houston this week, a very tough matchup for them, and that they could take an L. Minnesota playing Detroit, so we're going to get another division loss here. The Bears need to keep winning to keep pace, and Caleb is going to be a huge part of that in terms of, can they score points? Can this continue to be a modern NFL offense? I'm kind of convinced that it will be. Like you said, Brandon, these next three games, we played some bad defenses against the pass. They don't get much better. Washington is awful against the pass. Arizona is awful against the pass. New England has problems against the pass too.
Yeah, they have one good corner.
Yeah. Gonzalez is a good corner, Christian Gonzalez. But
solid player.
Darius, where do you see the Bears going over these next three? Because these next three are crucial, because you can stuff the stats a little bit in that record, in that win-loss column against some subpar teams before you start getting into this very tough NFC North divisional games.
Yes, indeed. Listen,
guys, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's a lot going on. I think if we continue to improve, it doesn't matter who we play. Honestly, if we continue to improve and clean up the things that we've fell short in the past, I think we'll be fine. But these next three games, they may seem like layups, but I'm gonna tell you, New England plays hard, man. On the defensive end, they just don't have
just talent wise, they're not.
They don't have much to work with offensively.
Yeah.
And as far as DC,
Mario Douglas had a really good game. With Drake
as far as DC, hey, we all know what we up against. Their offenses was really their play call.
Could be a shootout. Could be two rookie quarterbacks going up and down the field in that game. Could be a lot of fun.
No.
But as long as we do our part, I think we'll be fine.
So what do you think their record is in these next three games? After these next three games, are they 7-2?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
I'm not asking you to hope. I'm asking you to.
All right. I would say 6-3.
So 6-3 going into their first divisional matchup against the Green Bay Packers, which would mean they would need to go 4-4 in those last 8 games to end up at 10-7. Brandon, where are you at with these next 3 games?
I think they go 3-0. and I firmly believe this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be on record here now. If they go 7-2 before Week 11 against the Packers, before this interdivisional play, they will be in the playoffs. If they don't go 7-2, they won't make the playoffs. But I want to say this, man, in regards to
So that's the difference there to you.
we just talked about the shootout between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. I do want to say this, guys, and I'm not being optimistic or biased because I'm a Bears fan.
The Bears defense is the best
Talking about
unit
a team that's
in that
allowed
game.
less than 21 points for 12 straight games going against a rookie quarterback. I see a bad day for Jaden Daniels. That's what I see in 2 weeks.
Okay, so you see the Bears going 3-0 in that stretch?
Yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see
This
them at
Cardinals
7-2.
team, by the way, the Cardinals team is terrible. Terrible.
I could see 3-0, man. I can see 3-0. It's totally possible. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. Now that puts them at 7-2. I think if they go 2-1 and they're at 6-3, like Darius suggested, that does not mean that they're not in the playoffs. I got to disagree with you there, Brandon, because if they go 4-4 in those last 8, then they're still 10-7, and that is going to get them in the playoffs in this NFC. I firmly believe that. Now we're talking about the NFC North, though, where I see the Lions winning at least 12 games. The Packers are going to be right there with the Bears, and the Vikings are undefeated right now. Just on that, guys, do you think the Vikings,
and the Buccaneers and Falcons are probably both making the playoffs?
Yeah, it's good. So you're talking about 5 teams right there out of 7. Then you just got the NFC East and you got the NFC West.
Yeah,
you got
Washington or Philly, maybe both.
Now, in terms of
the
NFC
Niners,
North,
Niners are the only team coming out of the West. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm confident in saying that. The Rams, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals just don't got enough, man.
As far as our division goes, I don't think no team in our division is that much better than us.
I think the Vikings are going to come down to earth starting this week against that Detroit team.
Probably, but I just feel like no one in the division is that much better, even as well as the Vikings are playing. Like, I just don't think they're that much better than us. Detroit's going to take a hit with Aiden Hutchinson being out.
That's a huge hit. They don't have anybody else.
The thing, and me and Dustin, it's being preached in the chat too it's pretty identifiable. The Bears defense is better than all of these teams.
Agreed.
It's the best unit on the field, probably in every game they play.
You said that. That was a beautiful thing to say. You said it in the show earlier. It's the best unit on the field, and for guys like Sam Darnold, that's a fucking problem, bro. Like,
yeah, because Sam Darnold will start giving the ball away.
Playing good in the system. He is. This Niners defense he beat is not the same as the one we watched last year. It's just not. I'm sorry, it's not. They're I think they're worse in the league at giving up the big play right now, which I think they were last year. They were somewhere at the top of the league, and Justin Jefferson burned them. But I truthfully believe this Bears defense is good enough to beat any one of these division opponents. It is. And all you, Dustin, I keep asking this question. I'm Darius. I'm going to ask you. I haven't gotten your answer. How many points do the Bears need to score consistently to beat the teams they play with the defense they have?
I would say.
And is Caleb capable of it?
Oh, no doubt he's capable of it. But I'll say anywhere from 24, 28.
Okay, so
21. This Bears defense is so fucking good, guys. I don't see teams scoring over 21 on them consistently at all. If the Bears offense can put up 21 points a game, they're going to win the majority of their
they're
games.
Going to do that with the talent they have on offense.
I want to talk about this comment because I want not really Hank Aaron to come. Listen. Yeah. Cliff. He's telling Cliff that bad defenses destroy themselves. Caleb will not beat any NFC North team and win no away games. That's just crazy to me. I mean, the guy just went to London and threw 4 touchdowns and beat the hell out of a Jags team who everybody was telling me how comfortable they are.
That's a home game, bud.
Yeah, no, it's fucking away. It's as far away as you can go.
It's pretty far away. Yeah,
and everyone's telling me how comfortable the Jags are in London. Blah blah blah. I mean, the Bears went in there and handled business. The Bears. One thing that I will not question about this Bears team is they are about their business. They are coming to play every week, no matter who they play, no matter what kind of game it's going to be. They are there to win a football game.
Yeah, and
they aren't fucking around.
And when I say franchise quarterback,
Ruha says 28 points to your question, by the way,
when
bro.
I say franchise quarterback, that means something, man. It doesn't mean like he's a good. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL. Caleb Williams is not Jared Goff.
London counted as a home game on our schedule, but it's clearly not. We weren't playing in Chicago. All I'm saying,
He's
Hank
not.
Aaron,
Yeah,
not
and it
really
doesn't.
Hank Aaron, is
And I'm going
come
to say
back
this.
here after
So
the Bears win 3 to 4 NFC North games and keep saying what you're saying, bro.
So
keep the
so let me
same energy
finish.
when Caleb Williams has 4,000 yards passing on the
So let me
season
finish
and the
this.
Bears are in the playoffs. Keep that
Let me
same
finish
energy,
this.
Hank Aaron, please.
Franchise quarterback is not Jared Goff. He doesn't win at home and at home only. When I say
He has more
on the show,
problems on the road than any
Caleb,
quarterback in the NFL.
Caleb Williams is going to win football games on the road the same as he does football games at home. Caleb Williams is a franchise quarterback. Those guys play their best football no matter where the fuck they play. It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't matter. So you can say, oh, he hasn't played good teams. He's played at home. Whatever you want to say, this guy is proving to you that he's the guy that it doesn't. Don't give me the this scenario or that scenario. He's going to win football games.
Let's
no
talk
matter.
about the scenarios that have actually happened where the Bears have won 3 games in a row and Caleb Williams is putting up great numbers and playing very smart football. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that Caleb Williams throws 4 touchdowns. And the thing he wants to talk about at the podium in his big ass late 90s suit is the interception he threw. You want to dog on this guy.
That's just cold with the late 90s suit. But
it was sick. I liked it, man. He had the big ass like wrists, everything. The sleeves were huge, man. All I'm saying is if you want to talk about the negative with Caleb, talk about the positive too, because Caleb's already focused on the negative, dude, and he's gonna fix it. So just keep that same energy.
I'll let Darius say. I'll let Darius handle that.
Because
Darius knows exactly who that is. Darius, who the kind of people that are dogging on Caleb Williams. Who are these people?
Oh, they Justin Fields fans, man.
That's it, man. That's it. That's it. That's all there is to it.
I just don't understand what people are
Bears
seeing.
have a team, yes, Cliff.
I don't understand what people are seeing that's giving them this fear of the other teams in our division. I don't see anything glaring. Like I said,
that's a great segue, Darius. Real quick, let me just because that is the thumbnail here for this show. Can the Bears take the NFC North? Do you see the Bears having enough juice to get enough wins to win the NFC North? You're saying you're not afraid of these teams. You don't see it. Okay, so what do you see for the Bears in terms of winning this division? Do you see it as a possibility?
Absolutely. Looking at those teams in our division, looking at the way these schedules are laid out, absolutely. Because I think at a certain point, things are going to even out. For us, as far as schedule, and definitely for teams like Minnesota and Detroit. Again, at the beginning of the year, I stuck my neck out there a little bit, but I said Detroit wasn't going to win 10 games, and I'm still standing on it.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you there, but that's bold.
Aiden Hudson got hurt, but I just, they have a nice thing going. Let's say that, but we're gonna beat them. Like I don't think no one comes into Chicago. We go into their place and we're in fear of losing. Because I just don't think no one in the division is that much better than us.
Brandon, where are you at with the Bears in this NFC North, this best division in football? Where do you see the Bears finishing in this NFC North?
Man, this is tough.
It's tough. Darius, it wasn't tough for Darius. I admire him, but it's tough for me.
I think they're good enough to beat. I think by the time they play this division, they're good enough to beat any of these teams. And I don't want to, because a lot goes into a football game, guys. It's hard to win. But I'm going to say this. I think Caleb Williams is better than all of the quarterbacks in the NFC North. I think he's better than Jared Goff. I think he's better than Sam Darnold. I think he's better than Jordan Love. I think the Bears could possibly win the North. I do. And I'm going to hang my hat on this, Dustin. We've said it in this show. We've said it time. The defense that the Bears have, Matt Eberflus calling these games the way he has on defense, plus Caleb Williams is better than it's already better than I thought it would be. I'm going to say that.
That's saying a lot because we were really high on Caleb, bro.
A lot of people are dogging on the Bears and Caleb Williams, and I don't know if they're all Justin Fields fans. A lot of people are just saying maybe Jane Daniels was the better pick. Caleb Williams, to me, where he's at today, is so much further than I even projected him to be, and I fucking love Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams in Game
really
6. Caleb Williams in Game 6 is worlds ahead of Justin Fields in his 4th season in the NFL as a
Caleb Williams
passing
was a better player than Justin Fields the day he was drafted.
It's not even comparable.
He was a better player than Justin Fields the day he was a better player in the Tennessee game than Justin Fields. He is, and I personally believe, man, I'm gonna side with Darius here. With the defense the Bears have, this is important, guys. And I'm not out here saying Caleb Williams is good enough to.
Is the Bears defense the best unit in the NFC North, Brandon?
Yes, it is, and the Bears defense is good enough with the complementary football that Caleb Williams is able to play. They're good enough to beat any team in this division.
Hey guys, real quick, happy birthday to Brandon Trax, by the way.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Birthday Trax.
Yeah. Great guy, hell of a dude. Hope he has a great day. But yeah, man, Brandon, I think this Bears defense is the best unit in the NFC North. I gotta agree with you there. So like that holds a lot of weight for a team when you're going into any game in your division with what you know is going to be the best unit on the field.
Yeah, and think about this, man. These are not Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrows and Lamar Jackson's. Jared Goff and Sam Darnold. I mean, if you have a really good defense, these are not two quarterbacks that you're afraid of.
What we're going against, fellas, in this division, we're going against scheme more than players.
We're going against coaching, Darius.
Yeah, I mean,
Benny Eberflus needs to be better than some of the best coaches in the NFL. That's what's going to make. And Dustin, you guys won after week 3. We were pretty down on this guy, so I'm going to tell you this right now. Sean was right. When it comes to coaching, if he beats these teams in the NFC North, and that's where Eberflus
that changes everything.
We talked about Caleb silenced the doubters. Benny Eberflus has still not silenced the doubters. He's beat a couple of bad football teams.
Caleb obviously still hasn't silenced the doubters. We got Hank Aaron.
Well, the doubters on Caleb are just morons. And I'm sorry for all you out there watching this. But I mean, come on, these guys doing things that rookie quarterbacks just haven't done and don't do. But on top of the fact that he's probably the best field general in the league already, I mean, he's changing the play almost every time, dude. But this Bears team, with the defense they have, and Caleb Williams can beat any team in this division because, guys, these quarterbacks are not even Jordan Love. I'll throw and honestly, I think Jordan Love's the second best quarterback in this division. I do. Jared Goff and Sam Darnold are beatable quarterbacks, and Caleb Williams is better than them, and our defense is better than theirs. And I think the Bears have the entire league under their control as long as they continue.
Whoa! So do you think the Bears win the NFC North, Brandon?
I think it's tough, man, because they have to play these games.
You're talking like a guy who thinks the Bears can win.
They have to play these games in such a small.
It's there for the taking.
Duration. It's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Do I think so? I think Eberflus is going to be tested, man. Can you prepare a team to play playoff football 6 weeks
in November?
Straight?
In November,
yeah. I mean, I think you're going to have to play your best football to end this season. I will say this, Dustin. Do I think the team is talented enough to beat all these teams and win this division? Yes. Do I think if they win the division and go to the playoffs, we're gonna have a whole different conversation, man? We really are. Like, how high is the ceiling for this Bears team if they win this division? A Super Bowl is an expectation if you win.
You start thinking about those things when you're talking about a rookie quarterback, and coming into the league and making the playoffs in his first season, where does that go from there? You look at CJ Stroud and what he did last year, and right now I think he's my favorite for MVP. He's just building on what he did. We've seen the blueprint for this, guys, and how it works if you do it right. We've also seen the blueprint on how you do it wrong. I know the difference as a Bears fan. Fucking trust me. When you see it being done wrong, it's very clear. And right now, this is the opposite. We're seeing it done right. We're seeing them model it after that CJ Stroud model from last year, and that's now turning into something even better for CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. So you start to really think about those things, and it's interesting, man. I don't see the Bears winning this division. I see the Bears making the playoffs. This division is too tough. It's just with a rookie quarterback. I think Cliff said it earlier. Like that's a hard ask. Could they be right there in it in the last week or two? Hell yes. Will they make the playoffs? Hell yes.
So the only
Will they play an NFC North team in the playoffs?
Yes,
they will.
The only thing that's keeping you from going full bore as far as winning division is the fact that Caleb's a rookie.
It's not just that. It's also this offensive line against, the Lions losing Hutchinson is a big deal, but they still got McNeil in the middle, who can wreck a game, and obviously his legs are tree trunks because it broke.
Caleb, of all the three teams in the division, Caleb's going to torch that Lions team.
Secondary, their secondary is bad. Their secondary is bad, so that's where the
Packers secondary is good.
To expose them, granted, to expose them, you have to rely on your offensive line to give your rookie quarterback time. So those things do concern me. I just think the veteran presence of the Lions, how good their offensive line is. I think the Lions are the favorite to win this division for a reason, and they just beat the shit out of the Cowboys on national TV, guys. America's game. The Lions are a really good team. I'm not afraid of the Packers at all. I'm not. The Packers have been in close games with teams they should have beaten on multiple occasions already. The Bears aren't letting bad teams hang around.
But the Packers defense worries me more than the Lions. Without Aiden Hutchinson, for sure. I'm more concerned about the Packers defense against Caleb Williams. They have a quality secondary. They have a good pass rush. That team might make a tougher game for a rookie quarterback like Caleb than Detroit does. And the Vikings are certainly going to make a tough game. The Bears, regards to matchups, since we're the subject of the NFC North, the Lions are the best matchup for the Bears. On paper, if you're looking at the NFC North, the Lions are the team in which I favor the Bears the most.
Nah, Packers for me, because Jordan Love will make mistakes. Goff does not make mistakes with the football very often.
Yeah, but if you're hanging your head on the quarterback making mistakes, then Sam Darnold would be your most favored matchup, right?
Yeah, no, the Vikings are, but the Vikings have a defense that is very tough, that blitzes often,
right.
that the Bears have shown they can be susceptible.
So this is my faith. I guess
it's not just the quarterback.
This is where my faith in Caleb starts to separate me from the pack of Bears fans that I'm familiar with. Like, I think the Lions defense is a field day for Caleb Williams. I love those games. I love those games for Caleb. I do.
Especially with Hutchinson out on the field. Yeah.
I really do. Games like Minnesota scare the shit out of me because of the pressure, because I think Minnesota's the worst. The Bears offensive line is our weakness. They're going to get exploited against Minnesota. Green Bay, I feel better about, but
Minnesota's going to come down to earth.
Green Bay's secondary can cause problems for a rookie quarterback, man. They've now had an interception in every game they've played this year. I don't love Caleb against the Packers secondary. I don't.
Green Bay is a worry for me, maybe because I'm just going back to all the other fucking times where they've been a thorn in our side. But I'm not really worried about Minnesota. I mean, I respect that mugging style of defense that Flores has, but I don't think that's sustainable, bro. I just don't.
For sure, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun watching this Bears team play, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this NFC North as it comes down. I mean, this is going to be maybe the best year we've seen for the NFC North in our lifetime. I mean, the NFC North has only existed since 2002. So, I mean, in our lifetimes, this might be the best NFC North we've seen as Bears fans. So it's going to be a lot of fun It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a little stressful coming down to it. I do think 3 teams out of that division are going to make the playoffs in the NFC, and I think the Bears are going to be one of them. That's really what matters to me. What matters to me is that the Bears are playing their best football going into January.
Yeah.
That's what matters to me. Dennis says last game of the season will decide if it's us or Green Bay that gets into the playoffs. I think both teams make the playoffs, Dennis. I think you guys are kind of in that same boat where I see 3 teams out of this NFC North. I don't think the Vikings are going to be one of them. That's crazy to say, I guess. But I think between the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bears, one of those teams is going to miss the playoffs.
I think
Johnny says Goff is just a lesser version of Stafford, and we already beat him.
I think the Vikings are the team that might sweep.
Just come back, Hank Aaron. When they beat the Packers in Green Bay, or when they beat the Lions in Detroit, or when they it's real short. In a couple weeks after they beat the Commanders in Washington, just come back and say you were wrong, please. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
It's been a great show, man.
Hell yeah, it has. I want to again thank everybody who was in the chat, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with a friend. Want to shout out Bridges Scoreboard, Serendipity Ice Cream, Underdog Fantasy, Elite Icons Framing and Memorabilia.
Happy birthday, Trex.
Happy birthday, Trax, Tito Bandito, Tequila. I mean, we got a lot of great sponsors, guys. So make sure you check them out. TC's World of Wonders. If you're in the market for a new Caleb jersey, not really Hank Aaron, you can get one through TC's World of Wonders. Guys, anything else before we get out of here? We ran a little long today, but the conversation kind of dictated that. I feel like the show went where it needed to go.
The engagement was second to none, man. We can appreciate that.
Yeah. The chat was crazy. I love y'all for this. I couldn't keep up with it. I tried. You guys were just keeping the comments coming. Brandon, anything before we get out of here?
Oh, man, thanks for everybody who watched. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for Trax. Darius, always a pleasure to work with you. Dustin, good job as always.
Hey, guys, bear down. Bears have won 3 in a row. Darius thinks they're going to win the NFC North. I hope that's the case. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you in a couple weeks. I mean, we'll be on throughout the weeks, Wednesday to Thursday, and then back again next Monday. And we'll be previewing next week this Washington Commanders game, which I think
Friday show. We got a Friday show now.
Got the Friday show too. Sorry about that. Yeah. We'll keep content coming for you guys all week. And check me and Brandon out at 4 Star Chicago Sports. We do a show on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays and it's just a lot of fun, guys. Keep building on this Chicago Sports podcast stuff because we have a lot of fun with you guys. 13 and 13 likes. Thank you, Bruja.
Enjoy the bye week. Enjoy the
bye week. Go out with the family on Sunday.
It's fun to get bye weeks.
All right, guys.